What's going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today is the return of Rayman. It's been a long time. Rayman Legends. I've been waiting to hear Rayman. It's been, I don't even remember the last time it was, but I really enjoyed it. I think the first time I heard it. Anyways, we're listening to Medieval Dragon, followed by 20,000 Lums Under the Sea from the channel Ubisoft Music. Requested by Legally Sam. And just by the way, before I get started, when I was at TwitchCon a couple weeks ago, I met and talked to a Ubisoft representative for a long time, like an hour, and we were just like chopping it up and blah blah blah. And I felt really bad because he was like, tell me some Ubisoft games that you play, and I'm just like, I don't know, I don't know any, like I'm not really familiar with like studios like that, but it just reminded me seeing this Ubisoft thing. Anyways, shout out Alex, but also. I'm liking this cover art. Everyone's playing guitar. That's cool. We got a flying V and everything. Okay. I think I've only heard of Legends once. I could be wrong, but this is Medieval Dragon. Composed by Christoph Harrell and Billy Martin. Ooh. That's like a timepiece. This game feels so whimsical. Yeah, it's definitely just screaming medieval. The hurdy-gurdy, No, bagpipes. I always confuse the bagpipe and hurdy-gurdy sound. There's like too similar for me. I think it's a bagpipe. I can almost imagine the scenery here. I'm just imagining like a fortress, just plain grass everywhere, a lot of bow and arrows like aiming at you, that kind of thing. Like knights shooting at you from like a window or something. A lot of stone everywhere. This game looks really fun, honestly. In the meantime, let me see what Rayman Legends I've heard before. Oh, we sped up. Wait, no way, I've only heard it once before. Have I only heard Rayman's once before? No, come on. Chasing a Dream and Laser Mayhem a year ago? I could have sworn I heard it more than once. The whole regalness of it. Actually, they're playing basses, not guitars. Bass guitars. Because they have 4 strings. A kazoo? Is that the first time I hear a kazoo on the channel? You know, that brings up something very interesting. I know that's probably not what you were expecting me to say, but there's, behind every funny, hee hee ha ha, there's always some like thought process that goes in my brain. I'm like, wait a minute. When I think of the kazoo, I immediately think of like memes, funny, silly, don't take seriously, maybe even dumb. But it is in fact an instrument. And now I'm like curious after this video. I gotta like look up like the history of the kazoo and like, can it ever sound somewhat serious or emotional? Was it made as a joke? You know what I mean? Like when I also think of it as a toy, like plastic. I don't know if they actually make like legit kazoos. So that's what I was thinking in the last like 10 seconds there. Because I figure like everything that's been made into a toy or something like that probably came from some legitimate, history. So now I'm really curious about that. I'm gonna look into that. But it's funny how like it's always associated with some sort of like cartoony aspect of it. Anyways, first of all, I'd never mentioned this kind of stuff, but I really, really enjoy the whole like art style of this game. It might be something that I throw into the backlog if I'm being honest, because I've seen a little bit of it. I forgot which game I saw, but I saw the I put it in the spooky episode of VGM Vibes where he was like it was like a side scroller, but you're being chased and there was like skulls everywhere. It looked like Day of the Dead stuff. I forgot what game that was, but anyways, the whole like it just looks very 90s aesthetic to me, which I like. You know, I grew up in that era, so I think I see this and I think of like Ren and Stimpy. I think of Doug. I think of oh god, what am I thinking of? Rocko's Modern Life, stuff like that. You know, and it looks like something that would be like a Saturday morning cartoon. And apparently these games play very, very well, and I like side scrollers, so who knows? Maybe I'll look into it. Plus, the music is amazing. But yeah, it feels weird. Not weird, but it's silly, you know, being a musician because I can like pinpoint what they're doing. You know, like oh, that's not a guitar, that's a bass. It's a bass with really weird wide frets. the metal pieces that go along the fretboard, those are the fret wire, and it's never that long. Here, I can give you an example right now. On my Hello Kitty guitar, you see this bass? It's like an inch, two maybe. Those are like 4 frets in between. But I know it's not meant to be taken seriously. That's the other thing too. Oh, and Earthworm Jim is the other one I was thinking of too, like peak 90s, but the cartoon style too. And that's another thing. Speaking of Earthworm Jim, it feels like this game is kind of like that. Like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but the music is indeed very like solid, and that's what's cool about it. I think if I have time and an easy way to obtain this game, then I'll look into it because it looks like something up my alley. Honestly, I'm a fan of like 3D platformers, side scrollers, and I don't know. I just never got into Rayman. Anyways, the name of the song, I feel like it's very literal. I feel like you're just like I just imagined you're in this kind of like in my head. I saw like a side scroller, and everything is just stone and maybe grass in the background, and you got like knights shooting at you or something with bows and arrows, and maybe a horse coming after you, something like that, you know. But it definitely fit that whole style, and that's what's really cool. They take it very seriously. If I didn't know it was Rayman or something, I felt that I was in that world, sort of like something like The Witcher or something. You know what I mean? It paints the scenery very well. This is now here's something interesting too. This is another setting: 20,000 Lums Under the Sea. So now we're getting aquatic, but I feel like lums is a word I should know, but I can't think right now. I feel like that's a unit of measurement, or light, or both. I'll look it up in a second. Like the word that comes to mind is like ticks. Like I'm guessing that's like a nautical term, right? Like of units. I don't know. We'll see. No pun intended. So I'm guessing we're gonna have some either really cheerful aquatic stuff or some really like deep sea mysterious ambience. So this is 20,000 Lums Under the Sea. I'm gonna look up what lums means. Sounds like a submarine. Stand-up bass. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Lumen, right? Whoa. Yeah, this is giving me like deep sea vibes. I was like, dude, this is a really good soundtrack. I can't find a solid definition. I keep seeing people. It's either a chimney or a form of light. Let me look. Let me look further into it. Ooh. A lot of chimney definitions, but I think it means light. Let me just take a guess, since I can't find a direct thing. Is it 20,000 lights under the sea? Either way. Yeah, definitely aquatic. This sounds very aquatic. I'm gonna assume that this has the same vibe as Crash Bandicoot as well, as far as like the world and the tunes. Like I'm imagining the fish levels in Crash. Yeah. I might have to play this game. Let me see if it's available. I'm just curious. Ooh. Reviews. 100% of people love the soundtrack. 100. No room for anything else. Some PS4, Switch. Dude. Loving the bass. Ooh. Oh, it's on. Oh, is this on Steam? Shit. I like how this is like so well done, where they gave you tracks instead of loops. Of course, there's loops, but like this is still going. You know what I mean? Gives me the feeling of a long level or something. Oh, is that a... I think it's an acoustic bass. And now we have strings. Dude, Rayman is so cool. This is how... This is the beauty of this channel. You're watching someone become enamored with it in real time. Oh, dude, now they... Of course they added the surf guitars to further prove the nautical influence. Dude, the bass is amazing. It's really keeping... It sounds like bubbles. Wow. An acoustic bass is such a smart idea right here, honestly. Because it sounds bubbly. They keep adding to it. Went up an octave. Dude, this is like the real deal, honestly. Everything I've heard from Rayman has been spectacular. And this is how, if you're ever wondering, how does Jesse choose the games he plays? This is how. This is how. I remember the first time, like, really loving it back then. And I don't remember what it sounded like at this exact moment. I remember it sounded kind of electronic and all over the place. But again, this is like speaking to, my inner child. And, I can totally envision like really, really liking this game. From what I've seen and heard, and apparently 100% of people like the soundtrack. I don't know how accurate that is. That means if you heard this song, you're watching this, that means you like this, no matter what. I feel like I've heard the name Christoph Harrell before. Does anyone know if I've heard anything else from him on this channel? From another game? Not Rayman. I feel like I've seen that name before. Either way, dude, that was really, really Cool. So, okay, immediately we get two settings here. One is above ground, one is underwater. At least that's what it's portraying, right? Medieval dragon, which maybe is a boss, but didn't really feel like a boss, or it like leads up to a boss. This one felt like kind of like deep sea exploration, like a submarine. Like the beginning had that like those beeps, those technological beeps of a submarine, but the whole thing was just like drowned in water, pun intended and all. Like the acoustic bass was such a good idea because it sounds kind of hollow, which sounds like it would sound like inside of a submarine, like it's being played inside of a submarine. And then everything just sounded kind of bubbly and just, the mysteries of the deep, which sounds kind of foreboding and a little scary. None of that song sounded hopeful and nice. It sounded adventurous, but like, what awaits. And that's how I think of the deep sea in general, because we don't know what the hell's down there. We're not supposed to be down there. It's actually one of like the most the older I get, the more fascinating that stuff becomes. When you see a video release like, hey, look, a new species discovered. Like, what? That doesn't sound correct. I feel like when we were put on Earth as kids, everything was already established and we're just here exploring it. It doesn't sound normal to me to be in my 30s to hear about new species. But now that we have stuff that can go down there, it really is fascinating to me. I don't sit there and like watch like National Geographic or anything like that, but whenever I come across like a deep sea video or something, it's really freaky because we were not meant to go down there. We would explode if we go down there. We just can't handle it. So we're seeing quite literal aliens down there. Stuff that's like 30 feet long, like tentacles everywhere and see-through bodies. It's weird. It's the closest thing to aliens we have. Anyways, so this music is sounding like that. Maybe not quite so deep, but it's aquatic themes are always so fascinating to me, and that's why I made like the VGM Vibes video on it a long time ago. Because it can be portrayed in so many ways. When you think of a water theme, you could think of like above the surface, where it sounds maybe tropical and island-like. Or you can think more like endless ocean, there's nothing else around, so it sounds really ambient and just mysterious. Or there's underwater stuff, where like we've had like the SpongeBob videos we've done, which has been the same requester as well, which is like close to the surface. So there's a lot of ways to interpret it, like interpret aquatic feel. And this one just kind of nailed it. This is like kind of the ultimate water song, right? Adding the surf guitar at the end was just kind of like the cherry on top. That was really, really cool. I'm really interested in this, and I'll probably honestly officially put it in my backlog. I don't know when I'm going to play it. If it's here, I'll say this. Don't try to sell me on it, because it won't work. But if you do say how long the game is, and if you've seen how I've played before, and you use those two factors, then maybe it can like move up. The shorter the game is, the better, basically. But I want your experience if you play this game. What did you think of the song? I don't know. It just seems really appealing to me. I'm gravitating towards it. It looks really cool. Oh, and another game it's reminding me of, Guacamelee. The art style. Guacamelee, Earthworm Jim, all these things I like. So it's really cool. Anyways, let me know what lums mean. I swear that has to mean light. Some kind of light. I don't know any nautical terms. Sorry. But cool. Thank you for that, Illegally Sam. You're on a hot streak. Thanks everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks you for watching. My name is Jesse in the Auditorium. I'll see you in Rayman Legends someday. Peace.